Oh, what? No way! No way! No freaking way! Hello Internet, Jojo here, and today we're going to be reacting to Death Battle's Sauron vs the Lich King, Lord of the Rings vs World of Warcraft. Without any further ado, let's just get into this because I've already made an entire video talking about my thoughts on this matchup, so check that one out if you feel interested. Let's get into this.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Bespoke Post and Shady Rays.
They got two sponsors, Bespoke Post and Shady Rays. Wow. That's not actually anything new for Death Battle. They always have multiple sponsors and multiple ad runs.
The Lord of the Rings.
That's the model from the Shadow of Mordor games, I believe.
Lord of the Scourge. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
So it is 3D. So the fight is 3D, and I hope it's going to be good.
We've had some
poor ones.
At the dawn of creation, the supreme god Eru and his angelic Ainur created all of existence through a single harmonious
I'm actually pretty
song.
impressed at this.
One of these angels just had to be a rebel.
The editing is pretty good.
That harmony, giving the world its many, many imperfections, like Wiz. Then after messing up God's hit single and going rogue, Melkor took up a new name just to be even more metal. Morgoth.
Morgoth's power was impressive.
Melkor was named Morgoth by the Elf King Feanor. Morgoth means dark enemy. Wow, that's on the nose, if anything.
Several Maiar, essentially lower-ranked angels, joined him in his frightening conquest of
And the greatest of these followers was one obsessed with destroying all life in the pursuit of bringing about complete order.
Sounds so freaking awesome. He just looks cool.
Myron. But under Morgoth's reign, he became the one and only Sauron. He's almost more a force of nature than anything else.
That's actually was the purpose in a way. If Morgoth was an invading army, Sauron was supposed to be more like a disease, spreading and infecting.
And because he's a weird angel spirit man, he can morph his body around his own soul however he wants, or just shed it like clothing and fight as a ghost.
Okay, so they're giving him everything. They're giving him before the One Ring as well, because I believe the One Ring actually tied him into a physical form, which would restrict his actual ghost likeness. But if they're actually giving him everything, woo, that's going to be impressive.
Sauron is nothing less than a master of manipulation.
He's like if Loki and Satan did a fusion dance. He loves to trick someone
that's a pretty good way to describe them, actually.
Shadow magic, or just by toying with their sad, predictable, pathetic human emotions. Like when he convinced Saruman to join the evil side, who was basically a super wizard specifically meant to lead the charge against Sauron.
That's probably one of the most impressive feats of
is actually
the
wiser
seat.
than the master he served. He fooled the elven smiths into forging 19 rings of power and planted them among the leaders of elven, man, and dwarven kind, all controlled by another ring he made in secret.
The One Ring to
rule them all.
One ring to find them. One ring to bring them all, and in the
Darkness
bind them. Oh God, that's so epic. I think I'm into poetry
But Boomstick has good taste when it comes to poetry, I guess.
now. Forged in the fires of Mount Doom.
So this is about the One Ring, aka the Ring of Power. So there's Bane, contains part of Sauron's essence. Yes, it does. It actually magnifies his power considerably. Actually, magnifies all creatures' power who possess it. Actually, all rings of power do that. Powers granted, domination over the other rings, enhanced natural traits. Yeah, should have just read instead of talked. Enhanced perception, increased longevity, invisibility, mental domination, prophecy. Prophecy, nearly indestructible. I'm not too aware of the prophecy. I know some other rings do that. I think that Galadriel's ring, Nanya does
business.
that. Or you said some connection to it. I didn't know the One Ring did it, but I guess you could assume that the One Ring had all the abilities of the other rings, because it is the One Ring. It's kind of steel.
The One Ring amplified his power and let him control the minds and actions of the other ring bearers.
The 9 kings of men were especially vulnerable and saw themselves reduced to twisted wraiths bent to Sauron's whims.
It wasn't any
Twisted wraiths. Very cool. So, you know, you lose your sanity, get really cool black robes, become a slave for all eternity, invulnerability. So, I mean, it's kind of a give and take there.
From Eru, who had hardly directly intervened ever before, even against
Morgoth. God wasn't
Eru
happy. He literally did not.
While Sauron was still on it. But the Dark Lord spirit persevered, indestructible even against the wrath of God.
Did Wiz say persevered? Sorry, Wiz, this makes me smile.
And yet, putting so much power into one object did have drawbacks.
Which hit back hard when Isildur subtracted a digit from his hand.
In the books, Elrond claimed that Sauron was overthrown while slaying Elendil and Gil-galad, but it's unclear. I was not aware of that, actually. I did not know that. I just assumed it was pretty much 1-to-1. But also, Narsil is not a normal sword.
And should the One Ring be destroyed completely, Sauron's spirit could be rendered impotent beyond repair.
Impotent, not dead.
It
Impotent.
isn't all bad, though.
It cannot die.
Who'd want to destroy it when it makes you want it? Has a will of its own, with promises whispered. Even
Oh,
the
no.
best of us can't
Oh, no.
refuse. The greatest poultry dinner ever, boomstick. Bourbon, pecan, parmesan, turducken. It's so
He really is hungry.
precious.
I guess it is appropriate. This is near Thanksgiving, after all.
What did you just do?
What? It sounded delicious.
He ate it. Okay. Yeah, that's not gonna feel good coming out.
Sauron's a beast. He's swatted away armies of soldiers, interrupted
Oh.
Mount Doom.
Flight and levitation, immortality, body regeneration, longevity, spirit form, shapeshifting, soul manipulation, teleportation, weather manipulation. He has a lot of abilities. I do know that his getting nuked by Eru the god took his ability to shapeshift, but I think they'll be giving that to him here, which I'm not actually convinced about.
He has total control over his own being and can modify his soul at will.
Yeah, they're
so
gonna
he
do it
can
here, yeah.
definitely resist someone like spooky ghost Celebrimbor trying to dominate his
They're
spirit.
using a lot of the games, which is a bit annoying, honestly, because the games are very much non-canon and they play into that non-canonness. But I mean, I get why they do it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's still something that he could reasonably do, and so it should be included. But honestly, they seem to be focusing a lot on it, and even his model, I believe, is the Shadows of Mordor model.
Power is beyond that of Osei, a lesser Maya, which is specifically
Osei.
important because Osei single-handedly raised the island of Numenor.
Yeah, remember
Osei.
that island that got no one? That place.
So I wonder if they're going to mention Arian or Tilion, who moved the sun and moon. But Osei, I wasn't aware of Osei. I don't think that's going to be as relevant as moving the sun and moon, but I do know that. I mean, it is still impressive, regardless.
And so began the War of the Ring. Sauron's forces covered the land, seeking both the ring and the downfall of man. Always
Conjured a storm from Mordor to Minas Tirith, directed much of Morgoth's war, fled from Dol Guldur at hypersonic speed, matched Celebrimbor's mind and soul powers, successfully subjugated most of Numenor, survived divine intervention from LOTR, defeated Gandalf, Celebrimbor, Gil-galad, Elendil, Finrod, and wow, that he racks up a lot of victories despite his defeats being really bad.
He never truly understood the people of
Yeah,
Middle
that
Earth.
is true.
And he never imagined a mere
I think
mortal
that's
could ever,
awesome.
or would ever
The
seek
writing
to
of that is
actually
really cool.
destroy the One Ring.
Such a glaring
Against all
oversight,
odds
but
and a
makes
whole
sense
lot
for
of
someone like
walking,
him. It's so
Sauron
cool.
was defeated, not by the sparkly new king or the armies of Middle Earth, but by the most unlikely creature imaginable,
A hobbit.
Elijah Wood.
Yet, even as a formless
Elijah
shadow,
Wood.
Sauron's legacy remains one of fear. Fitting for the being that represents, and I quote, as near an approach to the holy evil will as is possible.
Wow. Tolkien has some great quotes. So yeah, just for Sauron, I was kind of disappointed. I'm kind of disappointed about some of the feats they didn't mention that I thought they might. They did mention how he might scale to other Maiar, but they didn't mention who those Maiar were. They did mention Osei, who raised the island, but from what I've seen of Lich King, I think the Lich King is far more powerful. So right now, I'm probably betting on the Lich King, but rooting for Sauron. We'll see him, though. Let's go.
On the distant planet of Draenor, the orc shaman Ner'zhul prepared a spell with his followers to tear the planet asunder, all to escape the fury
Wait, I
of
know
the
this music.
Demon Lord.
I know this music. I don't know where I know this music from. I don't know, it sounds familiar. Probably some music that I've almost used in a video, some copyright-free music. It's good for this. It's really good.
Kill Jaden.
But when Ner'zhul waltzed through the portal, Kil'jaeden was right there waiting for him.
Ner'zhul was forced to serve Kil'jaeden's will to ravage another world, Azeroth. Thus, he was transformed into the first Lich King,
Oh.
This Lord of
I have
the
no
Dead
idea
was sent to the
of that. I had no
continent
idea.
of Northrend.
conjuring an unstoppable plague of undeath. Soon, this would threaten the lives of the kingdom of Lordaeron.
Okay, so that was a
Lordaeron.
lot, but here's where our main guy finally
Okay.
shows up. Lordaeron's crown prince and holy knight.
His head seems kinda
Arthas
small for his shoulders.
Menethil. Yeah, his name does kind of sound like something your doctor would give you for fungus, but hey, no. Arthas was a badass. At 19 years old,
Okay,
he was
real name, Arthas. I could have sworn it was pronounced Arathis, No, there's no A. Never mind, I was wrong. Interned at Blizzard for 20. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. He doesn't have as much experience as Sauron, so maybe that'll come into play. Who knows?
LOTR was already severely pressured by a war with an orcish horde, so a zombie plague was the last thing Arthas needed. Long story short, in his efforts to protect his realm, Arthas discovered a rune blade and took it for himself. This was the fearsome Frostmourne.
Surprise! It's the source of the Lich King's power.
Technically, the Helm Domination serves as the Lich King's source of power, while Frostmourne functions as a conduit for I can't pronounce his name, guys. I'm sorry. Specifically, Frostmourne died directly to his power.
Stealing
so
souls
the ring
and storing
and
them
sword.
within the
Quite
blade.
interesting.
With this new ice-cold cleaver in hand, Arthas lost his soul and got a
Arthas.
Death
I
Knight
can't. I'm never gonna
makeover.
pronounce his name
And
right.
so the former hero of light would lead the very scourge he previously fought.
And in time, Arthas would don the
Ironic.
armor for himself, and this new Sauronite armor. Wait, no, Saronite armor is the best.
Sauronite
like,
armor.
what was it doing stuck in ice all this time when it's made of old god blood and self-repairs? Screw you, blacksmith! You're never taking my hard-earned gold. I'll never have to get naked and die again.
What?
By donning this dark helm,
I don't know what that was a reference to, but it's kind of weird. Frostmourne reaps and corrupts souls, can wound souls directly. Helm of Domination grants domination over the Scourge. Houses the power of Lich King. Transports to the Shadowlands. I have no idea what that is, but I'm sure they go into it. Sauronite armor, self-repairs, resistance to magic, reflects holy and light magic. This is not looking good for Sauron, in my opinion.
Azul and Arthas fused to become one, a being far more powerful than either had been before.
See this guy? He's Illidan, a 15,000-year-old demon hunter with a bit of a chip on his shoulder. As a Death Knight, Arthas could take him down. Against this new Lich King, Illidan never stood a chance.
Okay, what can he do?
This is important because Illidan had absorbed the power of Gul'dan, an
Okay.
orc warlock who, alongside his followers, raised the Broken Isles out of the sea. A massively powerful...
Okay, so they're comparing island raising feats. Are these all of them here? So that's a bit more than Numenor, I will say, but it's not even close to moving a sun.
Scourge of Undeath itself was now under the command of Arthas.
And by
What
this
a
point,
jerk.
he was just done. Like, with everything. We've all had one of those days, right? Where you see all of humanity is so pathetic they can only be saved by just killing them all, so you rip
Wow,
out your own heart.
relatable.
Yeah, relatable.
Yeah.
Only
Well,
one
it kind of
thing could
seemed
take him
to be
down.
insufferable.
A 25-man raid team of the best nerds World of Warcraft servers had to offer.
Okay. Oh, wow, that's actually pretty funny. I don't know why. I don't know why it's funny to me. I don't play World of Warcraft, but it still made me laugh. Beat Illidan's Stormage, who defeated Gul'dan, considered the most powerful Lich King, destroyed a prison that endured planet-shaking attacks. Shoot. Can canonically wipe out an entire 25-man raid. Defeat. Okay. Wow, this is really not looking good for Sauron. I haven't mentioned speed, though. I would like to actually know some speed feats, please. Because if the speed difference is that big, they could easily speed blitz, but it's not looking like it.
With these, heroes triumphant, the Paladin Tyrion shattered Frostmourne with an equally legendary blade, ending the Lich King's vile reign.
So the
But the
Frostmourne
Scourge
can...
doesn't work on Phantom Menace battle droid rules, so there must always be a Lich King to keep the relentless undead in check. Without a doubt, one of the most terrifying kings to ever conquer the world of Warcraft.
I like the reference. He said the name! He said the name! Yeah, it's not looking good for Sauron. The fact that both weapons can be created and destroyed by legendary things. The Ring and the Frostmourne. I would actually bet on Lich King, but I don't know, it seems a lot closer. I really want Sauron to win. And maybe the pessimism is causing my radar to shift, because my gut says that Sauron has something that they didn't mention and they're going to mention, but then my brain is like, Lich King has obviously got this. So I don't know what it is. Maybe they'll scale him to the moving the moon and the post analysis. I'm really confused because right now my record is perfect. An incorrect prediction here is going to mess up my record, and that's horrible. But now, of course, you might be saying, what about Johnny Cage versus Captain Falcon? We don't talk about Johnny Cage versus Captain Falcon. So, this is one I'll be happy to be wrong about. I'll say it's a victory. I will, because I want to be wrong here. All right. Oh, that's clean. Ooh, that's good. I like that model a lot.
I shall claim what is
I'm liking this so far.
In this cold north, you will find only death.
Okay, that's... Oh, this is honestly pretty clean. Ooh. Okay. This is the Shadow of Mordor model for Sauron. Oh, he grabbed the ghost! And corrupted the ghost. Oh, they're giving him his shape-shifting. They're really giving him everything here.
I'll tear out your heart. You will find nothing.
Oh, that's a cool line.
Your efforts are for naught.
Oh, he made Mount Doom. No, he made Mount Doom. He made Mount Doom. Oh no. That's where the ring can be destroyed. That's a mistake, but. Oh, come on. Don't let it end with mind control. I don't like that.
You serve me now. I serve no one.
Oh, okay, that's cool. This is actually really cool.
You speak nothing but lies.
Oh, my heart's pounding. He just destroyed Frostmourne.
There is no life.
Oh, what? No way! No way! No freaking way! No way! I got an ad and I hate it. No freaking way! Oh, no way! No way, bro! That's amazing! I was wrong and I'm happy! Oh, yeah!
Well, if he wasn't all
Heck
powerful
yeah.
before, look out for supercharged Sauron now.
Despite the Lich King's impressive power, Sauron's might was absolute.
I needed this.
But not before he got the duel of his life in a crazy close bout.
Okay,
Fair,
yeah,
the
fair.
Lich King severely debilitated Sauron via his plague of undeath. Most
Okay.
physical bodies would not survive such a disease.
Okay.
So Sauron just got rid of his
Yeah,
body.
which they can do
Who needs
really
it?
easily.
Especially when you can rebuild one or just start fighting as a ghost. Both things Sauron could do.
Yeah.
After all, the plague is intended.
Okay, Sauron can fight in physical and spirit. Less obvious weakness, more powerful, resisted mental and soul attacks, superior regeneration. Armor resistance, magical hacks, helm could block. Okay. Farthest. I mentioned that. And farthest powerful. Oh, they need to go into that.
Another smaller point for Sauron was his weakness. The Lich King was a clever bastard, but even with the Eye of Icarus, it would have been tough for him
Really?
to decode and destroy the One
Is there a
Ring.
reason for that?
Meanwhile, given enough
There's a really
power,
good reason for that.
Sauron would naturally end up destroying Frostmourne.
Okay.
He's kinda got a thing for breaking swords.
So let's
fair.
compare their power.
An unnamed Eddar destroyed the surface of the planet, but cannot scale to Lich King as Eddar varying power. Similarly, Meyer have moved the sun. Ah! Yeah! Sorry, I mentioned that. They moved the sun and moon, and scaling both generously, Sauron was still more powerful. I was right in my logic.
As Sauron is a more powerful Maya than Osei, and the Lich King could reliably defeat someone with Gul'dan's magic, it is possible to gauge the difference
Okay.
in power by measuring the islands that were raised.
Turns out Osei
Oh.
was doing twice the work.
By
Really?
examining official maps to determine the volume of the islands,
Really?
we found a difference between lifting
This looks more like a continent. I thought that Numenor was much smaller. Wow. I'm glad to be
2
wrong.
quadrillion tons of rock versus 4 quadrillion tons.
Wow.
Among further energy required to actually lift these through the ocean, of course. Both
Yeah, that's fair.
impressive,
Don't calculate
sure,
the same,
but
bro.
Sauron had the edge.
And for the final nail in the
Compared
coffin,
to-
the Lich King might have
When compared to the Balrog and Illidan, Sauron and Lich King could both reach hypersonic speeds of Mach 30. That's kind of lame, honestly.
The Lich King certainly posed a threat to Sauron, but the ruler of Mordor's
Oh my-
awesome might, enduring spirit, and millennia
Oh,
of
this is a
treachery
good day,
proved to be
guys.
the
This is a
superior
good
Dark
day.
Lord.
Wow!
Is that it?
What? Are you sour
Wow.
on the pun? I was pretty keen about it.
The winner is Sauron.
I appreciate that boomstick. Okay, who's next? What the? What? What? Okay. I would not say that's the best combatant for either of those characters. I would have put Deku against Gon, despite the massive power difference, and Asta against Meliodas. But wow, okay, that's neat. Oh man, I was really hoping it was a different matchup. Asta's gonna wreck Deku, in my opinion. Just from what I understand, he is much faster. He was dodging lasers super early on in his story. That is, if they assume they are lasers, which they should have a mirror and reflect. They should be lasers. And that was before he got any sort of power-ups. Yeah, he should be much faster. Deku only scales to light speed through Star and Stripe. My bet's on Asta for that. But man, I am super glad to be wrong. You saw me shouting. I don't typically shout. I probably peek the mic so often. I should have gone with my gut. This is a great battle. Not disappointing at all. 10 out of 10, guys. I do think this is my favorite. Not probably because of Sauron winning, but hey, I'm biased for Sauron. I've mentioned that before. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I will see you who just watch reaction videos for the Deku vs. Asta one. Jojo out. See ya.